Welcome back to the Union County Foundation podcast. Today's episode is all about grants, and we're going to let Jackie, the program officer, take it away.
So our grants happen quarterly. So if you would like to apply for a grant, if you're a nonprofit, have a special project or program that's going to benefit the residents of Union County, hop on over to our website. That's where you can find all the requirements. If you're eligible, that's our application. It's very easy. It's like a Google Forms document that you can. It's a very simple application. So applications are due in March, June, September, and December. And then the following month, the committee reviews them. We then give them to the board for approval. Once the board approves, we let everyone know and we award those grants out. So typically the following month after they're due is when the grants are awarded. So happens every quarter. Every cycle, we have about $15,000 to $20,000 that we're eligible to give back out into the community to where the most need is.
How many people are on your grants committee, and who makes the committee up?
Sure. So right now we have 4 committee members on our grants committee. We try to keep a diverse group, because you don't want all the same people on the committee. They have a couple weeks to review the applications. Then we all come together, typically, just for an hour, and we kind of talk about it, have discussion, see where the most need is, reflect on the impact that they're going to have on Union County, and kind of delegate the funds through the most need. So
you said we have usually anywhere anywhere from $15,000 to $20,000 available for these organizations quarterly. We talked about the Lily Gift 8 match. So for 2026, what's the potential look like for those quarterly grants with the Lily match?
Well, I don't know if we necessarily talked about it quite yet, but I mean, obviously that match is just going to grow it. Ideally, it would be great if we could break down our cycles a little bit more and maybe have a larger cycle for larger grants, I should say. So maybe a cycle that's once a year that you can apply for that's, $10,000 and more for a project or program, and then maybe keep our quarterly cycles for $5,000 and lower. So it's kind of something that I think we could discuss with our board and see, about opening that up, because we are, that match is incredible, and it's just going to add to that pool of funds and make it grow.
Change. Yeah, it could really change what our grant cycles look like because of how much larger the cycle could end up being.
Yeah,
because all those funds are getting added into our community impact fund.
Can you share some information about what types of organizations we have granted to in the past, and what kind of projects that have been affected or impacted?
Yep. So, for example, the library, the Union County Public Library, we've granted to them for their summer reading program, and we've granted to them for their summer meals program. So we partner with the library a lot. We recently granted out to the Boy Scouts group so they could go to summer camp, awesome. Which I thought was great. I think it sent like 4 boys to summer camp this summer, which was exciting. We grant to the schools, and that can be a teacher asking for certain supplies for her classroom, or it could be the PTO that wants to do, something great at the school. I think right now College Corner is trying to do like a hammock garden, and we've helped fund that. The UC Parks and Rec, we've granted to them for the pickleball courts, which I know are utilized weekly.
Daily.
Yeah. So, which is great. So those are kind of the ones that stick out in my mind.
The Four C's Food Pantry.
Four C's Food Pantry. We, definitely have granted them. We have Gleaners that comes into our community various ways, honestly, but one that they've applied for is through our school pantry program, and we actually grant out to them every year. So that's kind of a consistent one that we know is a need, and we make sure that we definitely grant to them.
I think, in case people aren't aware, we should talk about the Four C's Food Pantry and Gleaners, and like why that one's important to continue supporting every year.
So Four C's Food Pantry has been around for 30 years in our community. If people don't know, it's a food pantry and also a community closet, so people can drop off and get clothes there if they need. But they're open every Thursday to the community in the morning, I believe. And they've been serving this community, like I said, for over 30 years, and I don't think a lot of people know it's even there.
Food scarcity is kind of a silent problem in our community, and that the food pantry, and like Jackie said, people not knowing that it's even there is kind of just shows how kind of a silent that problem is.
So, and so Gleaners shows up in our community through the pantries. They come, they have a mobile distribution once a month, every Saturday, and they see over 300 cars come through there. And so I just don't think people realize how bad it really is. So it's like you said, it's silent in our community. But we know the need is there from just that information and studies that we've done and surveys that we've taken and other community members have taken. You know, we don't want to see that go away in our community. So we try to.
What about our folks from the College Corner area? Where can they go?
They can go to the Junction. It's the College Corner Food Pantry is actually what it's called, but it's out of the Junction. And they also have a monthly distribution. And they're partnering with Gleaners as well right now. So they could, and in that partnership, what that looks like is they can buy food at a very discounted cost through Gleaners and then supply their pantry with that. So we just know that the need's there, and we don't want to ever see that go away and help those resources. So
I would say if you know of someone, like if you know of a nonprofit who needs funding, like in Union County area, send them our way, show them our website with the application link.
Some of the things that our committee looks at when they're looking at applications, they really like to see any other fundraisers that the organization has maybe done or some matching money coming through. They like to know numbers, how many Union County residents this is going to impact, what that looks like. They also want to know, how do you plan as an organization that's going to receive money from the foundation? How do you plan on recognizing us through marketing, materials, or maybe putting something in the newspaper, things like that. So it is very important to the committee to kind of see, what's the total impact and how hard have you, kind of maybe put some work into to also finding other funding sources as well. So kind of keep that in mind if you're applying. I did say our application is very short and very simple, but obviously the more information you can give, the better it's, going to look and be for the committee to really review. And I review all the applications before I send them out to the committee. So if I feel like there's any lingering questions, I will reach out to the person in contact and try to get those answered before the committee actually comes back together, just to kind of save time. So, we don't ever leave anything, out, or I if there's something we need, I will contact you and try to get some more information if we feel like we need that. So,
and I'll say as well, I actually used to serve on the grants committee before I worked for the foundation. Jackie does a great job too of if for some reason the grant doesn't fit with us, or there may be a better opportunity for you to receive more funds or something like that. She's very knowledgeable about other resources in our community. There are some other organizations within our community that also do grant cycles for different projects and things like that. And then there's also different funds that we have that are designated for specific purposes. Jackie does a really good job of reading through the application, figuring out what is exactly intended for, and then what fund fits it the best, and then go from there. So
yeah, and we do have donor advised funds kind of in our pool, and and that's where Olivia comes in. She works closely with those donors and their intentions, and if we know there's maybe a grant application that came in that really focuses on something that's important to that donor, we'll reach out to them and suggest, hey, we have a great opportunity for your fund to support this program. Would you be willing to do that this time? So we work around with the funds that we have and try to help everyone who applies if we feel like there's the need.
And you talked about how it's important for the foundation to be recognized when we give out these grants, and I want to talk about that a little bit because I don't want people to think that we're looking for all the glory in this, but really it helps with two things. One, we want to acknowledge that we're able to give out these grants because people have donated to us, and if people want to do the same or are interested in that, they know that they can come to us for us to help them support the community. But also, if people see that an organization got a grant from the Union County Foundation, and if they need support, then they can maybe we would align with supporting them too. So
I would say as well, you talked about donor advised funds.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a person that has a specific interest, that you really love music in schools, or you really love sporting activities, or you really love whatever it may be, and you've got a deep pocket and you would like to donate, you can start your own donor advised fund for that specific purpose, or an unrestricted fund for community love. So just keep that in mind as well. That's the marketing piece of us getting recognition, again, is just to try to spread the word of what it is that we do and all the different ways we can do things. So all right, well,
I think that's what we've got for today.
thank you for watching. For more information about grants, please check out our website. If you have any questions for us or any comments, please leave them in the comment section below or reach out to us anytime. We'll see you next time.